Hello, friends. My name is Michelle. I am a personal trainer and a yoga teacher in the Boston area. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a yoga practice to help create strength, stability in the legs and in the hips, as well as creating a sense of openness and spaciousness in the hips and hamstrings. You won't need much for this practice, just your body. If you got a yoga mat, you can pull that out, create some space. I recommend having something to pad up the knees. You can just use a blanket or a towel. So go ahead, hit pause if you need to go grab that stuff and meet me on my mat. Here we go. Today we're going to start in child's pose. Allow the big toes to come together. Let the knees open a little bit wider than the hips. And reach those arms out, let the forehead melt down to the floor. Start off with a nice deep inhale through the nose. Slow exhale out the mouth. And nice deep inhale through the nose. Slow exhale out the mouth. Just let go of your day. Let go of the rush to get here. Allow yourself to arrive here in this moment. Listening to the sounds of your breath and feeling the sensations in your body. Taking a moment to check in. Begin to notice your energy level. Whatever that might be, just simply notice. Check in with your mood without any judgment, just simply noticing. And begin to notice your mind, the pace of the mind, the movement of the mind, without getting caught up in any of its thoughts, stories, or to-do lists. And then come full circle back to your breath, taking a deep inhale through the nose. And slow exhale back out the nose. Gently drag the breath along the back of the throat, cultivating a little audible sound with your breath. Gradually deepening the inhales, gradually lengthening the exhales. On your next inhale, slowly shift up towards your hands and your knees, coming into a tabletop position. Take a moment to center your shoulders over your wrist. Spread your fingers nice and wide, and lining your hips directly over your knees. Let's find some cat-cow. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your tail, tuck your chin, and push the floor away. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Let the belly drop as you lift the tail, lift the gaze. Allow the elbows to soften. Exhale, round. Spread the shoulder blades apart. Hug the navel to the spine. Inhale. Release the belly. And exhale. Just synchronizing your movement with your breath as you start to feel the sensations along your spine. Noticing any places that may feel stiff or tight, and then allowing yourself to move creatively creatively into those places. So when you're starting to move the hips, the shoulders side to side. So just checking in with the body. And slow some of that movement down. And we'll come to that tabletop position. Curl the toes under and just hover the knees up off the floor. So floating tabletop. Now press down through the index finger and the thumb. And as you push down through the index finger and the thumb, feel the arms light up and the pectoral muscles start to squeeze and hug in towards one another. As you push the floor away, you feel the back of the body opening and the navel hugs up towards the spine. Now see, can you tilt the tail towards the sky, creating that pelvic tilt, just like cow pose. Now we start to move towards this turbo dog as you press your belly back towards your thighs. Keep those knees super, super bent. Let your head rest between your arms as you look back at your feet. Take one more big inhale and exhale. Stretch the heels to the floor. Now start to pedal the heels, bending one knee and stretching the opposite heel to the floor. And mindfully just being aware of those sensations in your body. Every day is different when we come to our mat. Find that Ujjayi breath, that victorious breath. And again, getting creative. You might shift the hips, the shoulders, just checking in, feeling into the body, just warming up here. And we'll slow some of that movement down, coming into the downward facing dog. Creating that slight bend in the knee so you can create that long spine, deep crease in hips. Pressing down through the index finger and the thumb, start to feel the triceps spiraling back and down as the biceps spiral forward towards the front of the mat. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up, just hip height. Square the hips, square the shoulders, even pressure through the hands. Inhaling, coming up onto the toe. Exhale, pull the knee to the nose. Shoulder shift over your wrist. And then inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale again, round the spine, pull the knee to the nose. And inhale, reach it up and back, create that length. Last one, exhale, round the spine, knee to nose, hover and hold. And then step your foot between your hand. Lower the back knee down towards the floor. Relax the top of the foot to the ground. And then coming into the hips, you might start to tent the fingers as you lengthen down through the tail. Bringing the hands up to the knees, continue reaching the tail down towards the floor. Crown of the head reaches up towards the sky, and then you can add those arms reaching up. Deep breath here. Take one more big inhale as you lift your heart. Exhale, elbows wide, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then inhale, sweep your arms forward, slowly rise up. Exhale, elbows wide, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And again, inhale. This time, exhale out the mouth. Just let it go. One more time. Inhaling and exhaling. Always feels good to take those deep breaths. Let's take the hands down to frame your foot. Curl your back toes under, lift your back knee. And we're going to come into a modified pyramid here. Right? You can come right onto the tips of the fingers. Keep squaring those hips back. Think of pulling that right hip back, right as you stretch that left heel towards the floor. Try to press evenly through that front foot, pressing the big toe mound down. Let your gaze lift and then exhale, fold. Chin to chest. Next, inhale, look forward, bend your right knee, and then step to the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, sink your hips back and down, chair pose, reach your arms up. Pull the belly in as you sink into those heels. Try to see if you can lift all 10 toes, grounding down through all 4 corners of your feet. See, can you pull the pubic bone up towards the navel so we don't have this big sway back. We're not flaring the ribs forward, but the ribs pull in and down. Sink those hips just a little bit lower. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, lift up halfway. You're going to step your left foot back. Big step back. Coming onto the tips of the fingers. Option here, you can keep the knee lifted or you can lower the knee as we prepare for the twist, reaching your right arm up. Let your gaze follow up towards your right arm. Hug your right knee in, centering that knee right over the heel. Firm up that left quad and really lift up onto the ball of the foot. Try not to let that heel drop back. Really pull that hip right over the ball of the foot. Inhale, pulling that right hip back. Hug that left hip forward and in. Exhale, release your hand down to the floor, and then we'll all lower our knee down to the ground. Inhale, pull that right leg back behind you. So we're coming into this 3-legged table. Try to square the hips and shoulders, turning all 5 toes down to the floor. And now pay attention to what's going on in your back. If you're swaying in your back, I want you to pull the ribs in, pull the belly in. And then pressing down through those index finger and thumb. Now spin the left shin out to the side. Let the weight shift into the left hand and reach your right arm up, coming into a modified half moon. Right, as you reach your right arm up, your gaze can go up towards your right hand, making sure your right shoulder is stacking over your left. And then gaze down the front of your body as your hips, knee, and heel in line with one another. Toes are pointing to the side wall. Take one more big inhale. And then exhale. Press your right foot down to the floor as you reach your right fingertips towards the front of the room. Modified Vashisthasana. You want to lift the waistline high. Let's inhale, reach your right arm back up towards the sky. An option here, if you want to step that left foot back by the right, either stacking or staggering your feet, you find that full Vashisthasana, side plank. Take one more big inhale. Again, keep lifting the waistline nice and high. Exhale, release your hand down to the floor, plank pose. Let your gaze come forward towards the front of your mat, shoulders over your wrists. Now pin those ribs back by your hips as you lower all the way down to the ground. Press the tops of the feet down to the floor. Engage the quads. Lift the knees. Inhale, little cobra. Squeeze your glutes. Exhale, lengthen the spine as you lower down. Breathing cobra. 2 more times. Inhaling as you come up. Exhale, lengthen and lower down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, we'll lift up. We're going to hold it this time. Press down through the tops of your feet as you exhale. Inhale, lift your heart. Elbows squeezing in, shoulder blades squeezing in. Exhale. Inhale, push up through the hands and the knees. Exhale, round your spine. Stretch your hips back towards your heels as you actively reach the fingertips towards the front of your mat. Take that deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale as you come back to all fours. Curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog pose. A moment just to pedal out the heels. Shift those hips around. All right, let's get ready for the second side. Slowing the pedaling down. Lift the left leg up just hip height. Square the hips and shoulders to the floor. Even pressure through your hands. Take a big inhale. Exhale, round the spine, knee to nose. Hover shoulders over the wrist. Push the floor away. And then reach, big inhale. Exhale, round. Empty the breath, navel to the spine. Push the floor away. Inhale. Reach nice and long. Exhale, knee to nose. Hover and hold. Now step that foot right between your hands. Lift your gaze forward as you lower your knee down. Relax the top of the foot to the floor. Get light on those fingertips. Open this right hip. And then bring your hands up to your knees. Feel the tail lengthening down. And reach your arms up. Lift through your heart without flaring the ribs. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, elbows wide, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Release the fingertips to the floor and then sweep, scooping your arms up. Exhale, elbows wide, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Again, with the breath, as you inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Relax the jaw. One more time. Nice and easy. Exhale. Release the fingertips to the floor. Curling the back toes under. Lift your back knee up. Straighten that front leg, coming into that pyramid stretch. So you might be tented right on the fingers as they frame your front foot. And then start to steer the hips. Pushing off that front foot, can you lengthen that left hip back as the right hip comes forward? Inhale to a long spine. Exhale, fold. Release your crown of your head, chin to your chest. Next, inhale, you bend your knee, lift your gaze forward, and step to the front of your mat. Inhale to lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Release your crown of your head. Inhale, sink your hips into chair, hips low, arms up, and then settle into those heels. Try to relax the shoulders. Turning the palms to face in towards one another. And then pull that tail, lengthen the tail down. Lift the belly to the spine. And then anchor those ribs in and down. Take one more big inhale, sink a little deeper. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Step the right foot back. Big step back with that right foot. Lifting your gaze forward. Keep pulling that left hip back and in. Hugging those hips in. Place your right hand under your shoulder. Reach your left arm up, twisting. So you're revolving your torso towards the left thigh. Try not to let that knee just fall out. I want you to really hug it in and feel that strength and stability in your hips, right? You might lift your gaze up towards your hand. Take one more big inhalation. Exhale, release your hand down to the floor, framing that front foot, and then you can lower down to your knee. Bring that left leg back, coming into that three-legged tabletop. Turn the hips down. Try not to sway in the back. Really pull those ribs up and in, pushing through the hands nice and even. Spin your right shin out as a little kickstand and reach your left arm up. Modified half moon. All right, so again, check that alignment. Your shoulders are stacking, and then you look down the body. You see your shoulder, your hip, and your heel in line with one another. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, press your foot down to the floor as you reach the fingertips towards the front, creating a sense of spaciousness in the side body. And then take a nice big breath. You'll reach the arm up. Maybe exploring that full Vashisthasana as you step the feet, stacking or staggering your feet. Keep lifting the waistline high as you push the floor away. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Find that plank. Push the floor away. Hug the navel in and squeeze the glutes. Really firming up the quads. Pin the elbows in, lower all the way to the floor with control. Press the tops of the feet to the ground. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, lengthen as you lower down. Breathe in cobra. 2 more breaths. Inhaling. And exhaling. Next, inhale, we're going to lift and hold. Very light weight in the hands. Can you press down through the tops of the feet, squeezing the glutes? Feel that activation of the muscles hugging into the spine. So press down through the feet as you exhale. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower. Inhale, push up through all fours. Exhale, round the spine, stretch the hips back towards your heels, actively reaching the fingertips towards the front of the mat. Big breath in, slow breath out. Inhale, come up to all fours. Curl the toes under, lift the hips down, dog. Slowly start to walk your feet all the way up towards the front of your mat. Come into a ragdoll forward fold, feet hips width apart. Let the knees bend, grab for opposite elbows, and just let your head hang. Sway your torso gently side to side. Taking a moment to unpack the spine. Creating a little bit more space between each vertebrae. Maybe shaking the head a little yes, a little no. Just let it go. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, release your fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, lifting your spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Release the crown of the head, chin to chest. Inhale, sit your hips down into your chair. Sweep the arms up, lift the gaze, and stand up, hands to your heart as you ground down through your feet. Finding Samasthiti, equally standing on your feet. Slight softness in the knees as you lift the navel into the spine and relax the shoulders away from the ears. Next, inhale, circle sweep your arms out and up. Reach up, look up, little baby back bend. Exhale, fold, hinge at the hips, little bend in the knees. Inhale, lift your spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, folding. Let's step the right foot back, the left foot back into plank. Lengthen your spine, lift your gaze forward. This time we're going to exhale, we're going to lower just halfway. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Do what's best for your back. And mindfully here, wherever you are in cobra or up dog, you want to squeeze the glutes and create that firmness through the legs. That's going to help to create that strength and help the back here. Right? Exhale, downward facing dog. Push the floor away. Lengthen up and back. On an inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, step your foot between your hands. Warrior one, pivot your back heel to the floor. And just inhaling as you reach your arms up. Squaring those hips and shoulders towards the front of the mat. And it's never perfect. It's just that idea of squaring your hips forward, right? The right hip pulls back. The left hip pulls forward as you anchor down. And then from here, can you reach the tail down as you lift your heart? Maybe you lift your gaze, looking up towards your hands. Exhale, release your hands down, interlacing your hands behind your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open your heart. Exhale, fold. Releasing your shoulder, your head down to the inside of the knee. Let the head release to the floor. And you work towards stretching the knuckles towards the front of the mat. Keep bringing that right hip back and in, left hip forward. Next, inhale, sweep both arms up towards the sky. Big inhale. Exhale, release your hands down to the floor. Step back into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows squeezing in. Inhale to your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, step your foot between your hands. Back heel pivots to the floor, warrior one, inhale. Lengthen down through the tail. Reach those hips and shoulders forward. Can you broaden the collarbone? Maybe you lift your gaze up. Lengthening down through the tail. Lifting up through the front body. Centering the left knee right over the heel. Release the arms down. Interlace the fingers. Opposite thumb on top. Inhale as you lift your heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold. Lowering that left shoulder towards the knee. Reaching the knuckles towards the front of the room. Let the head hang. Looking back at that right foot. Press down through that right foot. And then turn those hips forward. Hug that left knee in. Nice. Release the fingertips down to the floor. On an inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, release your hands down to the ground. Step back into your plank position. Charge up the body. Exhale, lower. Pin those elbows in. Inhale to your back bend. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog. And push the floor away. Breathe. Little pedal of the heels. Press nice and even through the hands. Looking forward towards the front of your mat. Bend your knees. Jump or step your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale as you lift your spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, sink into your chair, hips low, arms up. And stand up, hands to your heart, grounding down through your feet. Inhale, circle sweep your arms out and up, little back bend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, jump or step back through your plank. Chaturanga, inhaling, up dog or cobra, exhaling, downward dog. Inhaling, right leg lifts. We're going to bring that right knee to the outside of that right elbow. Hold it there. Squeeze that right waistline. And then step your foot to the outside of your hand. Now, unlike the pose where you're opening your hip, I want you to really pull your knee in. Right, hugging that right knee in, hugging that right hip back. All right. And then from here we find a twist. Reach your right arm up. Reaching that right arm up, squeeze that right hip back. Right on the ball of your back foot. Now reaching your right hand towards the back of the room. Reach your left arm forward. Lift up to that twisted crescent lunge. Squeeze those inner thighs together. It's going to help you to find the balance. And now sweep your right arm forward. Reach it up. Lift your heart. Inhale. And exhale, warrior two. Back heel pivots down to the floor. Keep reaching your right knee right over the center of your toes. Keep pulling that right hip under, reaching that right sit bone down towards that left arch of the foot. Right, that left leg is straight, the back foot slightly angles in. Stay with the breath here. Flip the palms up towards the sky and reverse. Reaching your right arm up as you slide the left hand down. Gaze could be down or gaze can go up the arm as you gently tuck the chin down to that right shoulder. Inhale as you come up through warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose. Elbow to the knee or hand to the floor. You're going to reach that left arm over. Turn the palm down as you spiral your left chest up. Left ribs up, pull the tail down, lengthen, breathe. Next, inhale, coming to warrior two. Straighten your front leg, flip the palms, reach it up. Now hips slowly drift back as you reach your right hand forward, a little bend in that right knee, finding that triangle, just falling right into that triangle. And your hand rests down to shin, ankle, or block. And that left arm can reach up and gaze can go up. Now, if this bothers your neck or shoulders, you might let your gaze go down. You might even bring your hand to your hip. Thinking of opening that right shoulder, right hip as you pull the left hip under, pushing the hips forward. Now we're ready for that half moon. You can bend your right knee, reaching your right fingertips out. Step that back foot in. If that back leg is light, you can float that left leg up, flexing the ankle and spread the toes. Reach the left arm up. In that nice half moon, creating length. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, slow step back, light step back. Warrior two, flip the palms, reverse your warrior. Inhaling. Exhale your hands all the way to the floor. Step back into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bring the knee nice and wide. Squeeze and hold. Feel that waistline hugging in nice and tight. And now step your foot to the outside of your left hand. All right, we prepare for the twist. The right hand is under the shoulder. You hug the left knee in, pull that left hip back, and reach the left arm up. So I was trying to think of it before, lounge lizard. So unlike lounge lizard where the knee falls out. I really want you to think of hugging in and creating that lift here, right? That gets us ready for that twisted crescent lunge. Squeezing the inner thighs together, staying lifted right onto the ball of the foot as you open your heart. Next, inhale, sweep your left arm forward and out. Find that crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two, back heel pivots to the floor. Find your feet if you need to wiggle around here to find that warrior two. Finding that front heel in line with the back arch of the foot and lengthen down through the tail. Open. Turn the palms to face up towards the sky. Reverse the warrior. Think of reaching the left hand up, up, up as the knee reaches forward. And sliding the right hand down the leg. Big breath into the side body. And then inhale, come back through warrior two. Exhale, side angle, elbow to the knee or hand to the floor. Right arm reaches over, palm turns down, gaze goes up. Again, if this doesn't feel good with the neck or shoulders, you can always let your gaze go down or bring your hand to your hip. So really feel where this long line of energy is, right? From the shoulder, hip, and heel. You keep reaching your knee forward. We'll inhale, come back up through warrior two. Inhale, reach arms up, straighten your left leg. Preparation for triangle. Let the hips just drift back as you reach forward. Right? Make sure you're not locking out in that left knee, little micro bend. Hand can come down to the shin or ankle as you reach your right arm up. Start to spiral the heart up. Pull the hips in and down. Think of reaching your tailbone down toward your heel. Pulling that left sit bones down to meet that right arch of your foot. Take one more big inhale. And exhale. We get ready for half moon. Let your gaze come to the floor first. Bend your left knee. Option to use the block or tenting your fingertips on the ground works good too. You walk your back foot in, and once that back leg gets light, you float up. This floating leg, it's not lazy here. I want you to really think of creating strength and energy. So flex the ankle and actively spread the toes. All right, keep opening that right hip as you pull the left tail under. Getting lighter and lighter in that left hand. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, big step back, warrior two. Flip the palms, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Step back into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push the floor away. Breathe. Let's look forward to the front of the mat. Bend your knees. Jump or step your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale as you come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair, hips low, arms up. And stand up, hands to your heart, grounding down through your feet. We're going to do a little balance practice here. So you can stay to the front of your mat. And again, if you have a block, it can be helpful, although it's not absolutely necessary. Sometimes just getting creative with things around your house. Sometimes we have little stools or things like that, always something nice and sturdy, right? So starting with your feet about hip width apart. You're going to lengthen down through the tail and zip that pubic bone up towards your navel. And then try to just relax the shoulders. We're going to find a chair, right? So starting to sit your hips back, just reach your arms forward. And then getting light on your right foot. You're going to cross your right ankle over your knee. Hands to your heart as you sit your hips back. Relaxing the ankle. Reaching the knee out towards the side of the room. See if you can sit a little bit lower If balance is difficult, you can bring your fingertips down to the floor or a block. Again, anything that gives you that lift. A little wiggle and wobble is okay here, right? Excellent. We'll slowly come up and release that foot down. So same thing, second side. You're going to find that little chair. You can reach your arms forward, pull the belly in. Right, so this helps us to find the balance first. Then we get light on the left toes, cross the ankle over the knee. And again, hands to your heart. Some of you might even take your hands down to your leg or down to the floor or a block. Again, this is a big hip opener. It also strengthens our hips quite a bit. Nice and easy with the breath. And on your next inhale, slowly coming up, lower your foot down to the floor. And then take your hands on your hips. Just do a little circle with those hips, a little side to side. All right, making sure you're not holding too much, you're not tensing in the hips. We hold a lot of stress in our hips. So notice if you're tensing in the jaw or the throat. And as well with the balances, our mind can get, this is a way to bring more focus to the mind, but also we can get a bit frustrated. So don't let yourself get frustrated with the balances, but just, the poses are not something for you to master each pose. It's about finding that mindfulness and staying with the breath. That's what's most important. And then the pose follows that next, right? So if you have a block, I'm going to offer a modification with the block, and you'll put the block to the left side of you. If you don't have a block, no big deal. You can do this without the block. So we're going to sit the hips back again into that chair, right? Chest is lifted, belly is pulling in tight. Drop those ribs down. Reach your arms up. Now we're going to get light on the right toes. Cross that right ankle all the way over and around. Try to see if you can wrap your foot as you sink your hips back. Now that block can be there as a little kickstand. Keep lifting your heart. Now cross the left arm over the right. So opposite legs, opposite arms. And then lift the elbows in front of the shoulders. Sink your hips back just a little bit more. Can you find the breath? Create that steady focus. Inhale, slowly come up. Release your foot to the floor. Release your arms back by your sides. Nice work. So second side, if you've got the block, you can switch it to the other side. And again, so we get ready here. Find that evenness in your feet. Sink your hips back. Lifting the core in nice and strong. Reach your arms out. Get light on the left toes. Lift that left leg up and over. So this is eagle. Mention that, right? We're going to really squeeze the legs. Again, you can kickstand with the block and then bring your right arm over the left. Lift the elbows in front of the shoulders and sink those hips back and down, right? So the goal here really is not, besides balance, is really squeezing those inner thighs nice and tight. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then we'll slowly come up. Nice work. Releasing the arms, releasing the legs down. Nice. All right, we'll turn back towards the front of your mat. Feet about hip width apart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhaling, jumping, stepping back through your plank. Inhaling and exhaling. Down, dog. Next, inhale, lift the right leg up. You're going to bend your right knee and open your hip. Let your hips open, but can you evenly press through your hand? Right, and try to keep those shoulders turning forward as you peel the hip open. Gazing up the right side of the body, you might see that leg disappear. Right, and then we'll slowly reach our right leg back up. Big inhale, And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your right knee over to your left elbow. Squeeze and hold. Now extend that leg just beyond your mat and then reach your left arm up. All right, get creative with this shape. Some people call this wild thing or fallen star or triangle. Whatever it is for you, get creative, lift the hips. Really feel as you lift the hips, it requires to squeeze the glutes, protecting that low back. Take one more big inhale, and then exhale. We're going to bring that left hand around, pull that right knee into our chest and extend it back to that one-legged dog. Big inhale, exhale, knee to nose, step your foot to the outside of your right hand. Now we're going to come to that lounge lizard so you can lower the knee down and just let that right knee open. So that right foot should be somewhere towards the edge of your mat, so you can open the hips a little bit more here. Some of you might enjoy finding that variation of pigeon or any variation of pigeon you like. So as we get into this, if you're really tight in the hips, this just might be enough. You might even lower down to your elbows or put your elbows down onto a block. Give the body just a moment here. If you want to add on, we can find bending the back knee, reaching your right arm back, pulling your heel toward your bottom. This helps to really open up the quads. Get super tight here. Sometimes you might not even be able to get that foot. And that's okay. Just do your best. Connect with your breath. And feel the sensations in your body. Slowly release your foot down to the floor. Take your hands back underneath your shoulders. Hug the right knee in. Bringing that whole right foot to the floor. As you curl the back toes under, lift the back knee and pull that right leg up and back. One more time. Stretch it up. If you want to open it one more time here. If you want to flip your dog, you can flip the dog. It's up to you. And then we'll finish all together back in that down dog. Just pedal the heels. And get ready for the second side on an inhale. Lift your left leg up. Open the hip, bend the knee. Press evenly through the hands. Now we'll square the hips, sending that left leg up and back. On an exhale, you're going to bring your left knee over to your right elbow. Hold it here. Squeeze the waistline tight. Extend that left leg out. You're right on the pinky side edge of your foot. Really press down through the foot. Reach your right arm up. Spiraling your heart, your chest up. Reaching your right arm up towards the sky. Again, get creative. Have fun here. You're in your own home, so you can create your own expression of this pose, whatever that is for you. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, bring your right hand to the floor. Pull the left knee into your chest and send that left leg up. Nice. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your foot to the outside of your left hand, right, to the edge of that mat, and lower your right knee down. Let the left toes turn out to an angle. Let the knee fall away. You might even see the big toe pop up away from the floor. You can rock around here. Again, you're feeling into your own body. Explore whatever variation worked for you on the other side. Is it pigeon? Maybe lowering your elbows down to the floor. Notice if you're tensing in the jaw. We hold a lot of stress down into our hips. So sometimes we notice that as it shows up in our jaw. Just let the jaw relax, let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. And now we'll find, if you like, that add-on of that quad stretch. So you can reach back for your foot, pulling your heel towards your bum. So reaching the left arm back, spiraling your heart towards the left. release your foot. Turn your hands down onto the floor. Hug your knee and curl the toes under. Lift the knee, lift the hips. Reach that left leg up and back. A little circle of the knee or flipping the dog. You need to let go of that work. And then releasing both of your feet down to the floor. Look forward towards the front of your mat. Come on onto your tips of your toes. Bend your knees. And you can hop or step into this chair. Or to the seat, right? We're going to simply find a seated position. I'm getting ready for Gagne-Bourque. You're going to extend your, let's go ahead, let's stand our right leg up. Sometimes I don't know if I'm mirroring or not. So we get that right leg straight out. You want to activate the toes up towards the sky. Turn your torso towards your legs. All right, if your hamstrings are tight here, I would recommend bending the knee, especially if you get tender, if you have back pain or you're tender in your low back. Bend the knee, and that'll allow you to hinge more from the hip crease rather than hinging from the waist, right? We want to hinge from that hip crease. And then as you're ready to fold, exhale, release the crown of your head, let the chin come towards your chest. Slowly inhale as you come up. Now we're going to cross the left leg over the right. Option here, you can keep that right leg straight, or some of you might tuck it towards your bottom. We're going to explore a twist. You're going to hug your left knee in, sit up nice and tall, and start to twist towards the left. Left fingertips is going to come behind the spine. Option to hook your elbow on your knee. Keep thinking of length as you twist, looking over that left shoulder. Slowly release. We're going to come into Gomukhasana legs. So you're going to try to stack your knees, right? And if you're really tight in your hips, again, this can be done with that right leg straight and just crossing that left knee over. Or you can pull it in and explore this. Again, get creative. You're in your own space, so whatever works best for you. Now, the more flexible you are, the more the legs are going to be out towards the sides. Right? Kind of like your little wishbone, right? And then lift your heart up. Exhale, fold. And as you reach your hands forward, can you push the floor away, sending your hips back and down? Slowly roll the spine up. You can bring your hands back behind you and cross your legs. We get ready for that second side. So the left leg is straight, the right leg pulls in. Gagne-Bourque. I'm going to turn that torso towards that left leg. Again, option to bend the knees for those of you who are really tight in the hamstrings or have achy low back. And then again, hinge from the hip. Think of leading forward with the sternum. And once you fold it as far as you can, then you can relax the head, let the chin come towards the chest, and feel the tension release along the back of the neck and shoulders. Reconnect with the breath. Observe the feelings and sensations in your body. And then we'll slowly roll the spine up. Again, remembering those options, you can leave this leg straight as you cross over, or option to tuck that left foot in towards your bottom. You might not be sitting perfectly even, but you want to feel somewhat even as you lengthen up through the spine, preparing for your twist. You're going to hug the right knee in. Right fingertips are going to come back behind you as you hook the elbow over the knee. Keep lengthening up through the crown of your head as your gaze goes over your right shoulder. Feel the spaciousness along the back and of the neck and shoulders. And then slowly unwind. Gomukhasana legs. Again, the bottom leg can stay straight. And we try to stack those knees. And again, if the heels are closer, it's going to be a little bit, easier for the hips, or a little bit more if you need more sensation. You bring those legs out, those feet out. Again, lengthen up through the spine first. Find that lift, and then leading with the sternum, slowly fold. And just connecting with the breath and feeling those sensations in your body, and feeling how with each breath you can let go. On your next inhale, you slowly come up. Bring those hands back behind you and across the legs. We're going to bring both of the feet to the floor. We're going to come into a reversed tabletop. So you want to stack the knees over the heels, the fingertips point towards the front of your mat, or even slightly out if that's better for your wrist. Start to pull the shoulder blades in. Start to broaden the collarbone. And then slowly press through the heels as you lift the hips. Again, thinking of squeezing the glutes, engaging the back of the body to open the front. Relax the head down if that feels good to you. Relax the jaw. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Slowly release those hips down to the ground. Stretch both of your legs out in front of you. Inhale as you sit up nice and tall. Reach your arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, can you hug your belly in? Start to tuck the tailbone down and slowly lower down. Feel the spine releasing down to the floor. Once you come onto your back, you can step those feet, right, laying your knees up over your heels for bridge pose. Arms are right by your sides, turning the palms down towards the ground. On an inhale, you can lift your hips. Option to keep those hands right by your side, or interlace your hands behind your back. You can walk those shoulder blades a little bit closer underneath your body. Press down through the knuckles, press down through the heels as you lift the hips. Keep hugging the knees, they line up right over your heels. And then pressing down through all four corners of your feet, can you lift all 10 toes up off the ground? Reconnect with your breath, finding that nice, easy Ujjayi breath. Observing the mind as it comes and goes. Continuing to practice, bringing that awareness back into the moment and back into the feelings and sensations in your body. Your legs may be getting a little tired, a little shaky. I know mine are right now. I'm starting to shake, but I'm going to keep pressing down through my feet, hugging my inner thighs in and down. Taking one more deep inhale. And as you exhale, lower down nice and slow, lowering vertebrae by vertebrae all the way. to the floor. As you come down, you can spread your arms out wide and windshield wiper your knees side to side. Releasing and letting go of any tension you may be feeling in your back. The next time your knees rock over towards the right side of your mat, let them stay to the right. All right, and then bring that awareness down to that left thigh bone and see if you can reach your left knee down the center of your mat. So you might have to walk your left foot over a little bit, right? And it's okay if the knee doesn't touch the floor, mine doesn't. And you may be feeling a good stretch here. Once you feel that right sensation, you can stay here or option to place the right foot on top of the left knee. That feels good to get that nice stretch through the hip. I actually feel this down into my back. Just notice where you feel it. And then we'll slowly release. We'll get ready for the second side. The knees are going to rock through the center. And then slowly over to the left. Staying at the left. You'll walk that right knee. So that's pointing directly down the center of your mat. And either just using gravity or a little extra help with gravity, you can hook that left foot on top of your right knee. I'm just noticing how this side feels. It can feel quite different. And then slowly release. You can start to bring your knees back towards the center here. You might windshield wiper a little bit more, just releasing. And then slowing the windshield wiper of the legs down and start to hug your knees in toward your chest. And you can rock a little side to side. You might even find happy baby pose, reaching for your feet. And get creative as you start to extend the legs side to side as you rock. Now we start to get a little more creative as we wrap up our practice. I want you to really listen to your body, listen to your energy level, and exploring any last little movements that your body might be craving. And just taking your time. And then eventually, you start to feel ready to settle into stillness here. Just go ahead and shake your legs out, letting those legs fall heavy to the floor. Let them fall a little wider than hips width apart. And again, just shake those legs, wagging your feet side to side, making sure you're letting go of holding on. And then allow your arms to rest on the floor a little wider than yourself. Maybe turning the palms up. And it can be very easy when we're doing a home practice to get to this point and kind of exit out and skip Shavasana. But I really recommend you just spending just an extra 2 or 3 minutes just to let go and just to be here in this moment and feel the sensations of your body surrendering to the earth. Feel your eyelids becoming heavy. And soften the features of your face. Release the tension in the jaw by letting the teeth separate. And allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Feel the tension releasing down along the back of the neck and shoulders. And the arms become heavy, heavy, still, and limp. And you feel your whole body as relaxed and at ease. And you let go of the breath and let go of the control of the breath and just observe and watch what happens. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Taking a deep breath in and swallow. And taking your time as you slowly start to hug your knees into your chest and roll on over to your side. Slowly push your way up towards a comfortable seated position of your choice. Feeling the sit bones grounding and length up through the spine. And if you like, you can join the hands together in front of your heart, observing the subtle shifts of your mood, your energy, the pace of the mind. Feeling ease in the body and freedom in your breath. And bowing your head down in gratitude and love and light. And I like to salute to the light within you, the light within me, and the light within all living beings. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me in my home. You may have been hearing different sounds. This is real home, real life, where I'm here with my family. But I enjoy this time that I get to share with you, and I look forward to meeting with you again. Take care and have a wonderful evening.